Who is a hero? What does it mean to rise above and become something more than yourself? What does it mean to take on monsters and tackle the unknown? This is what we discuss today as we dive into the individuals who come to represent more than themselves, those who are able to transcend life and become a symbol. Today we continue our discussion on Joseph Campbell here on Circles Theory.
What it's gotta be this time. Sun starts to set and emotion rise.
The story of the hero is a complicated one, and one filled with challenges and complications. The first step of this is detachment or withdrawal. The individual consists of a radical transfer of an emphasis of external to the internal world, as we discussed in our previous video on the dreaming unconscious. It's a retreat from the desperations of the wasteland to the peace of everlasting realm within ourselves. But this realm, we know from psychoanalysis, is precisely the unconscious. This is what Jung and Freud were talking about. It is the realm that we enter when we sleep. We carry it within ourselves. It is the deeper existence of the self, and inside of it, we find all of the ogres and secret helpers of our childhood's tales and stories. It is a magical place of limitless possibilities for life that we can never manage to bring into our adult understanding of the world. These are the portions of ourselves that are golden seeds that never die. They are always within us. To be an artist is to remain a child. If a portion of that is lost or dredged up into the light of day, we experience a change. But when we bring that up, when we're able to engage with that, there's a marvelous expansion of our powers. This is the magic of the hero. They have a vivid renewal of life. And if they are able to bring up something that's forgotten not only by ourselves, but our whole generation, our entire civilization, they become a boon bringer. They are a hero of their culture, a person that can impact their local culture and ultimately the world itself. In a word, the work of the hero is to retreat from the world to the secondary effect and the causal zones of the psyche where the difficulties reside. And there, they can eradicate their own internal challenges as they combat with what Jung called the archetypal images. This is the process known to the Hindu and Buddhist philosophers as discrimination. Typically, the hero is the youngest and most despised child. They are exiled. This is something Rollo May talks about in one of our older and less developed videos. This is somebody who becomes the master of extraordinary powers and prevails over their own personal oppression. They bring forth adventure and regeneration to the rest of society. They are someone who commits their boons to not only themselves, but their local community and society as a whole. This is somebody who is able to successfully adventure and unlock and release the light into the body of the world. This miracle flows and may be represented in physical terms, such as the circulation of a food substance or streaming energy of spirituality as manifested as grace. This represents quite a few ideas. They are somebody to engage with what the ancients would refer to as the grace of God. They are able to bring grace, food, substance, energy, light, and pour that into the living world. Though where they fail, life decomposes into death. I suppose that is the story of the villain. This individual must go and seek what this boon is. The Japanese have a proverb. Say the gods only laugh when men pray for wealth. The boon is to be bestowed upon the individual and scaled to their stature. It's a symbol of life and energy that is stepped down and requires a specific issue. The irony, of course, lies in the fact that the hero often asks for perfect illumination or a longer life or weapons to slay his neighbor or the health of their child. But the boon is something that connects us with ourselves and helps us transcend. And when we are able to traverse and transcend the threshold, when we're able to engage with the dreaming landscape of our own psyche and deal with the ambiguous forms there within, surviving a succession of trials, we find ourselves at the myth. This is the work of Campbell, to explore and understand this. What is that journey? How do we engage with it? What are the tests and ordeals? I tend to argue that each of us goes through a version of this where we can become an artistic hero ourselves. This is where we pick up next week as we explore the quest for the elixir and how we gain the magic. So with that, I will catch you next Thursday at 5. Thanks for watching this week's video on Joseph Campbell. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button, subscribe for future content, and if you learned something today, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to discuss it with you. We'll catch you next time at Circles Theory.